every dinosaur and deadly creature that appears in 65. In spite of the long-standing fascination with dinosaurs in the sci-fi genre, it is not often that we get to see these majestic prehistoric creatures other than in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movies. Therefore, it was a welcome change to experience the Earth 65 million years ago, after a human-like inhabitant from another planet, Mills, crash lands into the perilous planet with one other survivor. Their adventures and struggle for survival amidst the dinosaur threats and incoming meteor crash makes for some gritty storytelling. But in this video, we will focus on the various types of dinosaurs that you will encounter during their journey. There will be a few spoilers along the way, so you have been warned. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Are the dinosaurs in the movie historically accurate? Before we proceed any further, it would be best to clarify that 65 does not try to be historically accurate, and this is reflected through the narrative. For starters, dinosaurs should not exist 65 million years ago because, historically speaking, they had already been wiped out from the Earth by then. Secondly, the dinosaurs that you see in the movie are not accurate representations of any particular species. The makers have taken a lot of creative liberty regarding this, and the familiar dinosaurs are only similar to the common dinosaurs that we know about. So when we explore the various dinosaurs and deadly creatures in the movie, remember that we are only naming them based on their shared features with the known species. Dinosuchus, prehistoric crocodilian. This is one of the first creatures that Mills encounters after crash landing on prehistoric Earth. As he stands in shallow waters exploring the surroundings, we get a glimpse of an underwater creature that lurks nearby. The entire creature is not visible, but we can make out the scaly, long body from the way it causes ripples in the water. It cannot be said with certainty that the creature has predatory instincts towards Mills because it never attacks, even though there was a clear opportunity. Mills wasn't even aware of its existence, such was its stealthy nature. And the most likely name that comes to mind is the Dinosuchus, a kind of underwater eel or a crocodilian family member. This creature surely did not stand tall because Mills was standing in below knee-length water, but the length of this mysterious beast cannot be determined. It offered the first signs of the dangers on the planet, and it wouldn't be long before Mills would have his first hostile dinosaur encounter. The small, vicious predator, Velociraptor and Antrociraptor. When we think of dinosaurs, we usually expect something of gigantic proportions to pose a serious threat. In the movie 65, however, a large dog-sized dinosaur proves to be just as dangerous, and it was the first major threat encountered by Mills on the planet. This dinosaur has a resemblance to a Velociraptor, but the size is clearly different. It offers one of the major jump scare moments as it attacks an unexpected Mills all of a sudden. The dinosaur is lean, fast and agile and goes straight for his throat. Luckily for Mills, the creature lacked too much physical strength and he was able to knock it off. A few powerful blows from his weapon were enough to put an end to this menace, but it was clear that if these dinosaurs attacked in large flock, they could be more than a handful. This creature resembled a miniature version of a T-Rex in some ways, with its long tail, long claws and grabbing arms, and the pointed snout with sharp fangs.
And move.
The flying dinosaurs, possibly Pteranodon. 65 could have done more than the flying reptilians than they did, but the scene will leave you stunned because of the suddenness of things. Mills and the little girl survivor named Koa are walking through the open fields as they try to find their way to safety. Koa watches overhead in amazement as they see a large flock of flying reptilians soaring in the skies. Whether or not they are of predatory nature cannot be ascertained, but it soon becomes clear that there is a bigger threat in the vicinity. An even larger flying dinosaur snaps one from the flock quite effortlessly, and Mills quickly pulls Koa to safety and explains the urgency to move faster. The flock of flying reptiles has a clear resemblance to the Pteranodon, while the larger flying predator could be one of the larger ones, or a Quetzalcoatlus, one of the largest flying dinosaurs that ever ever lived. Either way, none of these creatures make an effort to attack Mills or Koa, which probably implies that they don't see humans as their prey. The adorable baby dinosaur, Tyrankylosaurus. The movie establishes quite early that it is not playing around with the idea of friendly dinosaurs. As Mills and Koa make their way to find the escape pod, they hear the desperate cries of a baby dinosaur. It seems to be a harmless, adorable little creature that got stuck in what looks like a quicksand of sorts. Although Mills was not too keen to intervene, Koa runs in to help the little creature out of certain death. In a conventional dinosaur movie, you could expect this little dinosaur to help them out later in the movie or make room for some divine justice, but 65 goes the other way. Moments after the little dinosaur is freed, it tries to walk away to safety, but a flock of vicious little predators tear it apart as Mills and Koa watch in horror. The movie makes it clear that there is no room for cute and harmless dinosaurs in this vicious planet, and what looks like the little Tyrankylosaurus is killed off before it can have any substantial impact on the story. This dinosaur is surely going to remind you of the mistaken hybrid experiments in Jurassic World. Nothosaurus. This creature may or may not be a dinosaur in the literary sense of the term, but this prehistoric reptile is no less of a threat. A few of them catch Mills and Koa off guard and almost endanger their lives before they have a miraculous escape. It all starts when Mills climbs a tall tree to find a signal for his escape pod. His efforts are interrupted after he suffers from a terrible fall that dislocates his shoulders. As he winces in agonizing pain, these deadly reptiles close up on them. Mills is in no state to use his weapon and Koa doesn't know how to, and it almost seems like a lost cause before Koa manages to push his dislocated shoulder back to normalcy. It takes a few rounds from Mills' futuristic weapon to kill these predators, and Koa is cornered by one while he takes care of the herd. He shoots the last one in the nick of time and saves Koa from being dinosaur fodder. We are calling it the Nothosaurus because of the clear resemblance, and these creatures have long necks and shorter feet. They also have sharp claws and teeth, and the Nothosaurus can be deceptively quick in their attacks. Mysterious dinosaur that drags Koa away. This was a memorable jump scare in the movie when the little girl is suddenly grabbed by one of the dinosaurs. It quickly drags her away before she can react, and the sheer power of the dinosaur makes it impossible for her to free herself. Luckily for her, Mills heard her cries and chased down the creature, but he could not shoot because there was a risk of injuring Koa in the process. Eventually he managed to scare away the creature with some blank shots fired in the air, and it dropped Koa and fled into the forests. It could be a smaller Nothosaurus or some kind of velociraptor, but we cannot say this with certainty. However, it is clear that this mysterious dinosaur could have quickly made a meal out of Koa if Mills did not intervene. Oviraptor, the dinosaur that attacked Mills in the cave. We can say this with more conviction than some of the other dinosaur descriptions because this one clearly resembles an Oviraptor. Mills gets another surprise attack from this creature and he is caught in quite a fix as this dinosaur drags him away from his futuristic weapon. The Oviraptor is not too large, but it clearly has a lot of brute strength to drag away a full-grown human quite effortlessly. Fortunately, Mills manages to keep his cool and soon he manages to hunt the dinosaur before being hunted. The features of this dinosaur, from the crest on top of its head to its attacking style, make it quite evident that this is an Oviraptor. But feel free to let us know what you think this dinosaur was.
Out there.
Did we get a quick glimpse of an Ankylosaurus? We have already established that 65 did not try to play around with friendly dinosaurs or even harmless ones. For this reason, we don't see the large number of herbivorous dinosaurs that were known to exist. While most of the dinosaurs that we witness here are direct threats to the protagonists, there were a few sneak peeks into some dinosaur species that did not have much of a role to play. One such moment was when we catch a quick glimpse of what looks like an Ankylosaurus. It can be seen pushing trees around, so you can guess the insane strength possessed by the creature. It does not stand too tall, but it would be an educated judgment to consider the sheer length of the creature to enable it to move trees like throwing around feathers. The deadly scorpion-like bug. 65 million years ago, the Earth did not just have deadly dinosaurs, but various other creatures that were equally dangerous. Mills and Koa encounter quite a few species of large insects and bugs, but none were more lethal than the one that almost killed Koa in her sleep. After a long day of exploring the strange world, Mills and Koa are resting in the relative safety of the caves. Suddenly, Mills's alert system wakes him up, and he is shocked to find Koa frothing and foaming through her mouth in an unconscious state. He quickly opens her mouth to discover a strange scorpion-like bug feeding on her tongue. It is quite possibly poisonous because such frothing takes place when one ingests poison in some form. Mills manages to lure the insect out of her mouth, and a quick intervention saves her life. This scene goes on to show that threats in a prehistoric world can come in all shapes and sizes, and this tiny insect could have accomplished what the mighty T-Rex looking creatures couldn't later in the movie. The large carnivorous theropod or T-Rex, the biggest threat in 65. 65 quickly turns into a full-blown survival horror flick, and you simply cannot have one of those without the perfect antagonist. While many of the other dinosaurs endangered the lives of the protagonists and gave them a hard time, it was the T-Rex looking gigantic carnivore that almost put an end to their hopes of surviving in this prehistoric Earth. We keep saying T-Rex looking dinosaur because in spite of the obvious similarities, there are a few clear differences between the two. But then again, you have to consider that the movie does not try to be a historically accurate documentary, and you can excuse the makers for their creative liberties. This dinosaur first appears outside the cave, where Mills and Koa had taken shelter. It is shot and injured by the futuristic weapon of Mills, but there is more to come. Towards the climactic moments of the movie, Mills locates the escape pod from his crashed spacecraft, which could take them away from this treacherous Earth. He is also aware of an impending meteor strike on a scale that would potentially destroy life on the planet. Just as Mills and Koa try to start the launch sequence, fragments from the meteor hit their craft and send it crashing to the ground below. Although they survive, the escape pod has been turned upside down, and to make matters worse, two giant dinosaurs appear. These T-Rex looking beasts mean business, and a wounded Mills and an overturned escape pod do not stand a chance against them. This is when Mills decides to make the ultimate sacrifice by drawing the dinosaurs away from Koa. He leads them away to a hot geyser, but it doesn't do enough damage to the beastly creature. Just as the dinosaur is about to bite into Mills, Koa steps in with a daring attempt and stabs the creature in the eyes. It falls directly into the geyser, and the skin melts away in the extreme heat, killing the T-Rex replica. In a nail-biting climax, after getting rid of the dinosaurs, the duo manages to start their escape pod and escape just as the meteor crashes into Earth, causing widespread devastation. Marvelous verdict. An emotional adventure with room for improvement. Make no mistake, this special effort from the writer-director duo of Scott Beck and Brian Woods deserves to be appreciated. The big-budget venture doesn't cut corners when it comes to the special effects, and the narrative never falls short on the thrills, as Adam Driver, who plays the role of the protagonist, fights dinosaurs by the dozens in the prehistoric Earth. However, there are times when things become more like a family drama, with the father-daughter bonding between Mills and the other survivor, the little girl, taking center stage. The movie could have certainly done better in this regard because the emotional baggage slows things down and can be a bummer for those who want some non-stop good old-fashioned dinosaur action. Overall, it is still a movie worth watching, and you shouldn't give up on the opportunity to witness these magnificent beasts on the large screen. Do let us know in the comments below about your thoughts on the movie and your pick of the dinosaur moments in the narrative. Tell us about the dinosaurs that you liked the most and the ones that did not make the cut for you.